And welcome to From My Mother's Basement, the show where we talk about anime, manga, video games, tech, sci-fi, comics, whatever we want. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
So how are you doing tonight, Michael?
I'm doing okay, wondering if there's a glitch in the audio on that opener or not.
We can always fix it in post. We're always good like that.
Did it last week, we can do it this week.
Exactly. So you actually have some new tech with you. You got a new mic, didn't you?
My new baby.
Thing is nice.
My sound's going to go weird for a minute, so hang on.
Okay. Ooh, shiny. That looks like one of the Yeti Pros, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
You only know that because I told you.
I gotta sound good on the show, you know?
Yes, it is a Yeti Pro, and it's a good little beastie. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it, but my sound quality is a lot cleaner. So, I have a mute button, so I can do this. And you'll never hear me swear.
Okay, I guess that works. Now, does it actually do as XLR and USB, right?
Well, you should mention that too.
Well, I'm just giving you. Ow.
The nice thing about the Pro versus the non-Pro.
No, you did not.
The non-Pro is not is USB only, whereas the Pro comes with an adapter to do stereo XLR. Where's the camera? There we go.
There you go.
Very, very handy. Very handy. So it's one the way one reviewer put it was it's worth the extra money because if worse comes to worse, it's a mic you can grow into. Rather than if you buy the standard USB Yeti and then you want to move up in the world and you're like, oh, I want to go through a soundboard or whatever. You can't. So that's kind of why I went that route. Okay. Eventually I'm going to bring my Mackie up here and be a little more that route.
Get the whole studio going on there.
Yeah, get the whole studio rocking, as it were. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it because you notice I have my regular headphones on. I don't have the thing in front of my mouth anymore. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully it all works out well.
Okay, cool deal. So what should we start off with this week? Because there's actually a wide variety of stuff we have planned.
I got something fun for you.
All right.
For those of you who use Twitter, I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday in the early afternoon, Twitter got sluggish, is one way to put it. Didn't go down, but it got very slow. The reason being is the part that's funny, is it basically boils down to don't mess with the people with the pointy needles and lots of yarn.
Wait, knitters took down Twitter.
Yes, it was the knitter versus Twitter. And actually, it wasn't versus Twitter, but apparently they've got the Ravelry, which is a really big knitting website, for those of you who don't know. They're in conjunction, not much in conjunction, but in the spirit of, since the Olympics are this year, they're doing what they call their Ravelympics. Okay. And your colors just shifted on your camera. And they're doing what they call the Ravelry Olympics. And some intern at the Olympic Committee, the U.S. Olympic Committee, got wind of it and wrote them a C&D. Now, normally, a C&D is pretty boilerplate and can be blown off to whatever, but no, this guy went in and added shit and
really
basically just ripped into him. You're violating our copyright and we gotta do this, we gotta do that, blah 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 blah. So Ravelry responded really well, and a bunch of knitters, all the Ravelry users, got pissed and started sending emails and Twitters and everything to the U.S. Olympic Committee. U.S. Olympic Committee said, okay, our bad, we're sorry. You gotta, but you guys understand that we have to, not unlike a certain HR person that I had to deal with in this in past, you understand we have to protect our copyright and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. But if you guys want to donate these things that you're making, et cetera, ad nauseum, at which point you'll have to go to Ravelry's got the letter listed. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact wording on it.
Okay.
But basically, but it's not behind me on the screen that I can't read.
All the tech in Michael's room.
Yes, all the tech in my office, which is not all mine. They basically came back and said, yeah, fuck you. And so, yeah, the moral of the story is don't piss off the women with the sharp, pointy sticks, which I think is really awesome. It's definitely worth checking out. And oh wait, I just got pinged on this. Did I just got sent the link? Oh, there we go. So don't they? It's nuts.
So knitters took down that's funny. You can't...
The knitters, they didn't take it down, but they definitely got its attention.
All right.
So it's knitter versus Twitter.
All right. Well, I want to talk about something that I sent you a link to. No, I'm not going to take your catchphrase out of it, but it's still freaking cool.
Oh, that, yes.
Yeah. So there's this security company in Japan that's created a new network monitoring program, and it's called Daedalus. It stands for Direct Alert Environment for Darknet and LiveNet Unified Security. Bit of a mouthful, but Daedalus makes it all much better.
It also sounds like a big, evil, ominous AI.
It really does. The really cool thing about this is the GUI, the graphic user interface that they created for this. This thing is incredible. I'm just gonna play the video in the background without any audio, just because it just looks amazing. Let me get that going. So what this is, come on, there you go. So if you see this, it kind of looks like an anime or something out there.
I was gonna say, at first when I saw this, I'm like going, "Oh, geez, somebody watched Ghost in the Shell." Yeah, I mean, this is totally and the fact that it's in Japan just kind of cements the deal, right?
It really does.
Somebody was watching. Oh yeah, the subtitles on it are the Japanese guy they're interviewing. But basically, this is the precursor to the Ghost in the Shell interface for the internet, for the interwebs. It looks badass.
It really does. The fact that it's in real time, when you click on those alerts, the red alerts that were showing around the edges, those actually show the pingbacks of where those were actually jumping to in terms of IPs. So you can actually follow a virus or any sort of intrusion in real time. Mm-hmm. Kind of cool. Go ahead. I was going to wait for the fact that give this a couple months, and this comes out actually being used in the market, and I'm sure some hackers out there will find a way to bypass this and make it look like everything's okay while I'm raiding your hard drive.
Well, there's that also, but it's also a matter of time, because if this interface takes off in another 5 years, it'll be the Ghost in the Shell interface.
It really will be.
And then it'll just be a little further down the line. We'll have the little Tachikoma zooming through, doing their thing. You'll be sitting there talking, all of a sudden you'll see this little...
Can we have that now? It'd be so nice. I really want a Tachikoma
I can work out now. We know someone who's building one.
Which we'll talk about in a little bit.
But it's really cool. It's a great way, and it makes sense, because you look at the way these. I mean, real time monitoring of cyber attacks is nothing new.
No,
the technology to do this has been around forever. Mm-hmm. It's the interface that makes this so dynamic. It's the fact that if you can, do you want it on the screen?
Yeah, I can put it right there.
Okay. If you look, go ahead and pause right there if you can. So if you look at this, every one of those threads that you're seeing on that screen is linked to an IP. And so the idea, and all those little yellow kanji with the red circles, those are alerts. So, I mean, if you were looking at this in an actual knock using today's technology, all you've really got are what looks like a giant spreadsheet, and something starts flashing, and you can very easily get lost. What this does is it collates all that data and attaches it so that you can go, oh, hey, there's an alert on this link. Bink, where does it go to? You can click on it, and it brings up the details of what that IP is. And they were saying in the interview for this thing earlier, or in that video, that you can tell if it goes to an IP that's not being used. So if someone's spoofing an IP or botted a box or something, it's a way to track that down.
Yeah, it's going to be really helpful. Anybody in a knock for this, especially, what do you think? Like I said, a couple of months, maybe even more so a year down the road before this comes widespread, or longer than that?
Well, no, I don't think it's going to hit. It's not going to go outside Japan for at least another year or two.
Oh, okay.
Because they were talking about releasing it in the interview to some Japanese ministry of something. Ministry of Anime Interfaces or something. I don't know. And
Daddy Chu has a new role with the ministry now.
God, is there anything that man doesn't do? Then they're giving it to free. They're giving it free to educational institutions in Japan. And then I figure it's just, within a year or two after that, you're going to start seeing it roll out into the educational institutions worldwide. And then it's not going to be much farther beyond that where you start seeing it industry-wide. I mean, I know the company I work for on my day job, if they got presented something like this, they'd probably jump on it, I would think.
Well, let's hope. Of course, then again, you got to think about money and licensing to make sure it works and all that stuff.
Well, exactly.
But that's boring for a show. Once money
gets in the mix.
There you go. Well, let's talk about some new tech that actually recently was announced. It hasn't come out yet, but recently announced. I'm talking about Nintendo. I'm not going to talk about the Wii U. We already talked about that.
Yes.
I want to talk about the new 3DS that was announced. It is of no surprise that Nintendo has been a staple in the video games industry. Therefore, they know how to suck every single penny out of the consumer's pockets. And, I mean, good example, Game Boy. How many iterations of the Game Boy were there during its lifespan? And I'm talking Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, SP.
Before they went dual screen?
Yeah. Before they went for the 3DS.
Oh, God, there were at least 8 or 9 different ones.
And then a multitude of, full rainbow of colors.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise they're going to continue that trend with the 3DS because they announced the 3DS XL. And of course, it's bigger than the original 3DS. The size of the main screen is kind of impressive. It's a massive 4.88-inch screen.
Yeah, they said it was like, what, more than twice the size?
Well, yeah, 90% larger than the original 3DS in terms of the screen size.
Which is freaking huge.
It is, but there's no word if it actually has a higher resolution. We're not talking Retina, but we're just talking...
I'm going to guess it's not going to be.
If it's anything like the DSi XL, the one that came out a couple years ago.
Well, the DSi XL didn't increase res. That's just it.
Exactly. It was just a very low pixel density. And of course,
they spread the pixels out. Yeah.
The touchscreen itself is also, increased in size.
That, I think, is cool.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's a little more sensitivity on that this time around. Though.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is because if they're going to increase, I'm hoping that if they're going to increase the sensitivity or the resolution anywhere, yeah, on the screen would be nice, but then but that comes at a cost of processing power.
Yeah,
a significant cost in processing power. Whereas if they increase the sensitivity of the tablet portion, it's not as big of a processor hog.
True.
As the video output's going to be.
We'll still see where this goes on with that. I mean,
it's enough to almost make me buy one.
And especially the price point, $199.
Yeah.
$199, and the U.S. fans get something the Japanese don't for once. This bundle comes included with a 4 gig SD card because now they have the Nintendo online marketplace. So you can download virtual console titles and whatnot. It's nice to have that on the go, and it's nice to not be stuck to just a home console for that.
But that brings up a question: is that are they standard SD cards? I.e., case in point, I've got 3 or 4 16 or 32 gigabyte SDs lying around.
I believe so.
Digital photography. Can I just pop one of those in there?
As far as I can tell, yes. It's just a standard SD card. It's not gonna be like SDXC or anything like that, but just a standard SD card. It'll run just fine. You can save all your stuff on there. One thing they actually announced with this was it's coming out August 19th, the same day and date as New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is interesting in itself, that game, because it's the classic Mario Brothers title, but it's all about gold.
I was gonna say it's Mario getting greedy.
It is. It's like, is this Miyamoto telling the United States quit being so greedy? I have no idea.
No, I think it's more like I'm going to be greedy and take all your monies now. All your money belong to me.
It already prints money. They don't need any more than they make.
I don't know. Yeah, but the thing is, they're finally... One thing Nintendo's been really good at is finding their niche, and to their core audience, even with the stumbling blocks that they encounter with the Wii, which I think, even though those things were impossible to get, they were a runaway success, but the games weren't there.
True.
But the fact that what they're doing with I think the XL is a step in the right folder, because the 3D, one of the big complaints about the 3D was the fact that people got headaches from it. I think that part of that was the fact that it was a small screen going 3D. You expand that screen, it's going to help. It's going to ease some of that. Um, like I'm lucky. It doesn't give me a headache. I can look at the 3D and I'm cool with it. Whereas my fiance, it gives her migraines. She can't do 3D. We can't even go see movies in 3D at the theater because it makes her sick, which really sucked when Tron came around. But but it's I think it's going to be really cool. Like I said, it's enough to all and that between that the 90% larger screen because I'm getting old and blind. Yeah, right. Anyway, the 90% screen coupled with they're not radically altering the price point.
No,
that's
classic Nintendo though. Because almost everything they do is in-house, they can lower prices farther than any other company like Sony or Microsoft. But at that same point, though, because I had the initial DS when it came out. I had a white one. I played it all the time. And then I sold it for a Laserdisc player, but we're not going to get into that. My question, and I want to ask your thought on this, would you go for this for $199? Or would you go get a PS Vita? Because before, it was always Nintendo and somebody else trying to, come in second, like the PSP. Or remember the N-Gage from Nokia.
No, the N-Gage. God, I actually bought one of those.
Oh, what? Why did you?
No, not the N-Gage. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, there was, what was that, the phone Nokia?
The Taco one, yeah.
The Taco phone?
Yeah.
I bought one of those for my then girlfriend. Oh, yeah, so that we could play. In fact, we bought it in 2004 because it came with Tomb Raider.
I remember that. I was working at GameStop when they came out, and no one would touch that thing.
Yeah, I bought it so that she could play Tomb Raider on the trip to Japan back in 2004.
All right.
But, so yes, I had one of the Taco phones. But, the Chalupa. Yeah, that was a suck fest. The PS... See, that's a tough call. I mean, I've got a PS, or a DSi. No, I just got a first-gen DS.
Okay.
I got a DS Blue that I don't play much now. I couldn't really get into it. None of the games were compelling enough to keep me there. The PS Vita, I'm looking at that going, hey girl, you got a pretty mouth. It's it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The screen is beautiful. I like the idea of the touchscreen on the back, but there aren't a lot of games that are compelling on it. And that's my big thing, especially, I am one of the classic ADHD kids, it's got to keep my attention. And nothing so far on the Vita screams, oh my God, I have to play this.
Even all the stuff that was shown at E3 this year. Nothing that really there like grabbed you and I already know the answer to this, but I'm just asking anyways. There was nothing there that really grabbed you and said, I need to buy a Vita.
It made me more curious.
Okay.
But right now, it's all on speculation until the stuff actually starts hitting the shelves. Not really. So between the XL and that, there's some really good stuff coming out for the XL. I mean, they announced that they're going to be releasing this holiday season. They're going to be doing the Kirby.
That's right.
The 20th anniversary Kirby, which is going to have pretty much every game from that going back to the beginning in an emulator on the 3DS XL.
That had to be really nice. Another game they announced for
that is almost enough to make me get it.
What else did they also announce? Of course, a brand new Smash Brothers game that's going to be cross-compatible between the 3DS and the Wii U. So maybe they're trying to do the same thing that Sony was showcasing at E3 with the PS Vita acting as a controller for the PS3. Maybe not.
Well, that also brings up the question, though. They're doing here we go on video games again. With the Wii U coming out, they've got the Uber controller for the Wii U, which is going to have. I mean, is that going to be tied to the Wii U, or is that going to be a take it along and play it thing?
It's a give and take on that. Who knows?
How many LCD screens do you need in your living room?
As many as I can get. I have 6 in my bedroom.
You're going to look like that scene in... Oh, yeah, you got the hydrant set up.
Yes, I do.
It's going to look like that scene in Far Cry 3. It's going to be a little crazy, dude. So to answer you, so long story short, too late. It's a toss up. I could honestly go either way. I'm
Okay.
leaning towards Nintendo because they actually have more games that look like fun.
Is that just due to the fact that it's excuse me?
Just
Is that more just due to the fact that they have a lot of classic titles? Have you played, this nostalgia title, or is it more along the lines of they look more interesting to you?
There's a lot of nostalgia titles in there. The problem I have with a lot of the handhelds
Mm-hmm.
is, except for some really crappy rehashes of old Square games, there haven't been a lot of compelling RPGs, and RPGs are something I'm really big on.
Okay. I can
Although
completely
they are going to be
understand
doing a 3DS version of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
that. It's about time.
Yeah, so again, that's putting more points in their favor.
Okay. Well, let's move on to let's go talk about some anime now. It's kind of tied in with tech. Acer Japan, they decided to do a collaboration with Production IG to create a series of animated shorts featuring several of Japan's female athletes heading over to the London Olympics. Kind of an interesting idea. The whole idea behind it is surprise for you to push yourself to do better. I understand that for the athletes, and I understand that Production IG is well known for their quality, and these videos really show that. I'm trying to find the tag from that to go into Acer. I'm going to work for the Olympics, so I have a laptop.
Well, you got to watch your anime on something while you're on the plane over.
Okay, we're going to go for that. Okay, fine, I'll let that go.
I don't know. I haven't seen the article you're talking about. So
Oh, you haven't?
no.
Okay.
So I'm thinking. I mean, if Acer sponsored it, they get the bonus of reaching out to the anime fans.
Mm-hmm.
They also get the Olympic bonus. Is Acer a Japanese company? I thought Acer was a
There's multiple divisions. This is Acer Japan that had to deal with Production IG.
Okay.
So
So
I'm trying to grab it.
you know,
for
they
so
could be
you can see it.
helping reach out to the otaku set.
I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, I'll throw it and post an image of it. The whole thing about the videos is they just look really nice. They look definitely what you would expect from Production IG, with a little bit of maybe a softer hand to them. But other than that,
Softer hand.
softer touch. It's not really as like hard line you would get from like say
Okay.
Ghost in the Shell or something like that. But
Right.
it looks almost like what if Production IG did a Ghibli movie? So, but then again, these things are only like 30 seconds to 90 seconds long, so there's really not much you can throw in there.
Okay.
So, all right, what?
Well, it
I
could
know.
also be along the lines of like that. Remember that Subaru anime?
Oh yes, and Toyota's done one as well.
Did Toyota do one?
Toyota did one as well. PES, Peace Echo Smile. It was all featuring, I think, 5 girls in space, and there was a scene where they had a Prius C, I think it was, actually flying through space.
God.
I mean,
don't we learn from the Subaru one?
well,
I mean,
okay, at that point, I would give Subaru higher credit over Toyota on this, because in the Subaru anime, the girls and some of the items that were used during this Edge episode were kind of tied to Subaru.
well, yeah.
But you never saw a
flight
freaking
stick sounded
Subaru.
Like,
Well, yes, but you never saw a freaking Subaru car.
no,
I can accept
there was
in
no
anime.
blatant product placement.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can
do that.
accept girls on broomsticks flying through space that
Sounding
sound
like
like
Subarus.
yeah, sounding like Subarus.
That's the part that got me. If you remember in the review, I did like, what the hell?
God, we haven't done that review in a long time. We'll do a review for a couple weeks. But speaking of anime, let's briefly talk about what's going on next weekend. It's some little tiny con that somebody's trying
That
to
nobody's
throw
ever heard
together.
of.
Yeah.
That has. Yeah, I can't say that with a straight face, dude. Yes, next weekend is Anime Expo. It's back at LACC again. They've got a fairly decent guest list, and it's gonna be Anime Expo. I mean,
It is what it is.
yeah, no, it's like I said before. I don't hold the con any ill will.
Yeah, same here.
So I think that it's gonna go, and the challenge is gonna be overcoming
X Games.
X Games, and that's the part I'm waiting to see is how they address that.
Especially the fact that everything or outside the LACC is X Games. Where the buses usually go in, that's part of the rally course. Chick Hearn is closed off. Behind Nokia Theater is the skateboard, like the street and the skate park. Yeah. I believe in the back area of the LECC is going to be the pits for the BMX bikers are going to be inside Staples Center. Across the street is the giant vert ramp.
Yeah, no, it's everything north of Pico is screwed. But they've had a year to work on it, and like we said last week, Matt, who runs our security, is a really good guy and he knows his shit. So I think they're going to do everything they can.
Okay.
Nothing's going to be perfect. It can't be.
No, it's very true. They're doing some things to try to help out with the transportation as well, because there's basically only one spot in the entire LACC where you can stop and drop off buses, at least.
Right.
But the thing is that if you have a 4-day badge, which 90% of the people who go to AX buy anyways, they will get free bus passes, and they'll go to all the different hotels. Which I think, okay, fine, they have that. That's good. Because trying to walk, I don't even know if you can without an ESPN badge to walk through X Games from the hotel to the LACC. I don't know if you can actually do that. Much less if
you can walk on Olympic.
Okay. But then you'll be surrounded, if you're in cosplay and say you're cosplaying someone from, say, Sora no Toshimono, super skimpy outfit, and you want to walk through a group of
bunch of
drunk college frats.
X-gamers. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, but
I'm just hoping they'll be respectful. I know anime fans, they'll be respectful of everybody else because we have to be.
Like that.
Yeah, we're good like that. So,
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be what it'll be.
Okay, yeah.
I'm hoping for the best because there's some groups in there that I was part of the original team on that I honestly hope come through and I know will put on an excellent show for the fans.
It should be fun for the fans. It depends to see how the staff handles all the problems they have every year. Save face, I guess.
Well, no, but the staff adapts to the best of their ability, and they've always been really good about that.
Yeah, true.
Just ignoring all of the political stuff up top, the staff are excellent.
They are. They very much are. They work their asses off every single year.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I know you're not going because you're actually going on vacation, lucky dog.
For the first time in 15 years?
Yeah, exactly. Go enjoy it and whatnot. I'm actually going to be going around AX, but surprisingly as an attendee. That's going to be a new thing.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. I've always been doing staffers. My first year going to Anime Expo was actually as a staffer, so we'll see what happens.
Actually, no, my second year. My first time I ever went was in '95. I entered the AMB contest and sucked ass. Oh, I was horrible. I was new to the whole making of AMVs. I had no idea what should have properly gone into an AMV. I made something that looked like a Hollywood promo of the day where you've got, some anime, some rock group and mixing live action and just, it's crap. I can look back at it now and go, it's crap. For what it wasn't bad, but it was still crap compared to what it's supposed to be. And then I came back in '98 and that's when I got drafted to staff.
Ah, gotcha. No, I was drafted right off the bat, so it'll be fun. Any viewers, if you guys are going to be walking around, be sure to follow on my Twitter account, OtakuLife Jason. Let you know where I'm at. If you have any suggestions about what to go check out or where to meet up at, just let me know. I'll be on my phone the entire time. So
and then the week after is
some awesome comic stuff.
Actually, that I looked into that a bit more, and that's actually got moved.
Oh, it did?
In September.
Really?
The Stan Lee one?
Yeah.
Kamikaze? Yeah, I actually went to their site. Originally, from what I had seen, is they were going to be basically the weekend after Expo.
Oh, okay.
But I did a little searching further, and they are... Actually, I think I've still got their page up. Give me 1 second. No, that's Japan Expo.
That's another con happening.
Well, that's the con that's happening the weekend after. The only catch is you have to hop on a plane to France.
Although their numbers still dwarf Anime Expo.
Well, they are the world's largest.
They are.
It's Japan Expo, I want to say 2 other cons somewhere in South America, and then Expo.
Yeah.
So It's top 4 in the world, but Japan Expo is largest in the world.
And aside from the way they handle things, how they're organized and whatnot, they also have the advantage of being accessible to about 15 different countries by several different modes of transportation.
That's true.
So
That's true.
that should definitely help them out with that.
They can get all the Brit imports from the Channel on the bullet train. Germany's literally just a drive over. They proved that back in the 40s. Wow, that was tacky. I can't believe that was there. And actually, I think it was the 30s, but still. Wow. So yeah, no, it's that's going to be going then. I have to do a little more research. I'm not sure what's coming next. Comic-Con's in July.
Comic-Con is in July.
Which
you have tickets. I don't.
I'm going for one day. I'm probably going to be going on Friday because I've heard about Saturday, and Saturday is no way in hell I'm going that day. I went for 4 hours last year, and it was psychotic.
It always is every single year.
Yeah, I can imagine that worse than that on a Saturday.
Yeah,
because I remember you went with me last year, and we went on a Thursday, was it?
It was a Thursday.
Yeah, we went on Thursday, and it was nuts then.
Yeah,
I can only imagine how bad Saturday's going to be.
Yeah, well, that's where all Hollywood is throwing all their money at nowadays. So
that's true.
They have the big booths, the big premieres there and whatnot. Sadly, though, go ahead.
I was going to say, and they're selling among the. I'm not a big brony by any stretch of the world.
You must buy me this.
But I know several people who are into it, including my fiance. The special figure from Hasbro this year, they made Derpy hooves.
Yes.
They didn't call her Derpy.
They can't call her Derpy because of all the controversy surrounding that.
But it is Derpy hooves.
Yeah.
So we're going to go out of our way to try and get one for her at least. We may get a second one for me just to have it.
And a third for me, right? Yes,
and
yes, please.
Let's see what happens.
I don't want to spend $300 on eBay for it.
I don't think you have to. They're actually doing sales after con.
Really?
If you go to Hasbro's site where they announce it, they're doing a thing afterwards where you can, if they don't sell out at con, which I will be shocked if they don't, but they claim that they're going to have a limited number after con to sell online.
Okay.
So, it might be like getting tickets to BlizzCon, but give it a shot.
Okay, I'll do that.
But if I can find a way to swing a third one, I'll see what I can do.
Sweet.
Actually, a fourth one, because I've got one other person who demanded one.
All right.
And I'm sorry they outrank you.
Damn, already on low on the totem pole. Okay.
No, you're not low. You're not high.
All right.
God, that sounds bad. I'm just gonna shut up.
Well, speaking of money, let's talk about. This is normally the spot where we talk about sponsors, but we don't have any sponsors yet. So, first off, I want to thank the viewers for helping us out, supporting OtakuLife.net, Anna Break, and of course this show from my mother's basement. Michael and I keep on trying to improve it in terms of content, and we have a good banter back and forth. So there's already good that there. Can't speak today. One thing we always have problems with is on the tech side. As in, we want to do things like, get rid of those pesky ads you keep on getting interrupted with while watching the show. Things like I like to get a nice little compressor to upgrade the audio quality for the show itself. Things like this, unfortunately, take money. And given the fact that money is tight for everybody, it takes very, very long to copy this stuff up.
Yeah, I kind of stretched myself a little thin buying the Yeti.
But see that's something you would use for years down the line, though. It's an investment.
Right. Exactly.
So, but so what I did was actually, as of today, I decided to create a fundraiser site. So you can go to this website down below. Yep. Indiegogo.com/OtakuLife.net. That's the shortest I can get on that. The bare minimum that this website will allow me to try to fundraise is $500. So I'm going with that. So if you really enjoyed the show, if you want to show your support, if you want to drop us like $5, maybe even $10, we would definitely appreciate it. It all goes towards the show, and you try to create a better experience for you guys. If we can get to the point,
it will all go to the show.
If we get to the point where the production quality is really high and we really like where it's at, we could possibly attract other sponsors. And when sponsors come in, we get stuff for giveaways, for prizing, so we can give stuff back to you. So that's my main goal right there, is get this to a point where we can get comfortable, get it's a beneficial thing between us and the viewers. So, and I have a little bonus if you guys actually want to spend say $40. And if you wanted to help us out with $40, let me put this on this. You can actually receive an OtakuLife.net t-shirt.
Oh, sweet! I want one of those.
Yeah, these just came in just today, so I'm actually, they came out really well. I'm enjoying them. The nice thing about the place where I order them from, they come in a multitude of sizes and a multitude of colors. So if you decide
What's the largest size you got?
The largest I think they go is 4X.
Well, okay, what's the largest in the set that you got?
Largest I was a 4X.
Okay.
So I got it just enough for me to walk around con wearing them. So promote, say, hey, I have a OtakuLife.net t-shirt. No. So if you have,
so that means I have to donate. I'm going to donate my $40, and I'm going to get a shirt.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Expensive T-shirt. I'll buy it.
Yes, but it can come, like I said, multiple sizes, multitude of colors. You guys, if you are willing to go that far, we really appreciate it. If you don't have the money, which we understand, please, help out by, spreading the word, telling your friends, telling strangers on the street or people online in an IRC chat room. You should go to this place.
Just the old guy with gray hair who's not too bad.
Oh, that was so perfect. Come on, the fan made it all in good fun.
It's okay. Goddamn kids, get off my lawn. No, I figured out what I'm going to be. I figured out my goal. I was talking with Nikki about it over dinner.
Uh-huh.
My goal is I'm going to be the R-rated Leo Laporte.
The R-rated Leo Laporte. Okay. Leo Laporte from Twit.
Yes.
Twit.tv.
That is my goal. I'm going to be the R-rated Leo
In the chat, Isaac, old guy who's in his mom's basement.
That's right. Which is really funny considering I'm in California and she's in Florida, but that's beside the point. Through the power of wormholes.
I was going to say, you have a wormhole in an Einstein-Rosenberg bridge.
No, I'll go with wormhole.
All right, fine.
Einstein, I don't want to risk becoming green jelly.
Been watching Steins Gate, have we?
Yeah, and I don't want some chick following me around going doo doo doo.
Oh, come on, that was cute.
Did I tell you what happened?
No, go ahead.
Slight tangent.
All right.
Last Japan trip, I went over there. I was hanging out with a friend of ours who works for an anime company who shall at this point remain nameless. He helped me set up a Japanese iTunes account.
Okay.
So I bought the Japanese iTunes account, put a whole bunch of stuff on it, and one of the objects or things you can get is there's a Steins Gate app for iOS. I put this thing on the phone, or not on the phone, on the iPad, and after 6 hours, I uninstalled the goddamn thing.
Oh, it's that bad?
Well, here's the problem. No, it's kind of cool for what it is. I mean, I couldn't read all of it, but even if I did not to, and even if I shut it down, every 4 minutes, I'd hear this ringing sound, which is funny on an iPad that's not a phone. So it's part of the app. And I pick it, I click on it, message from, da-da-da, and that thing I hear is the doo-doo-doo, my desu, and she just starts babbling something out. And I mean, like, after a while, I'm like, bitch, shut up. I can't fucking take this. Mayu was driving me nuts. So I shut it down. I went into the preferences with his help, and we found the thing where it says, disable XYZ. Turn it off.
Aww.
It shuts up for 20 minutes. I'm like, okay. I lay down to take a nap. So I ended up uninstalling it within 6 hours.
Oh well. But did you hear about the sequel? Well, this the semi-sequel to Steins Gate.
No.
Well, the group that makes these games that turn into manga, that turn into anime, start off with Chaos Head, so it plays in Akiba. And then a few years later, a brand new set of casts in essentially the same universe. You have Steins Gate. And now the third one, which takes place a few years later, obviously a different crew, is called Robotics Notes. And it looks fun. The game looks great. Let me see if I can actually play this for you guys. There actually is a little bit of a trailer for it. I can't remember exactly what it's on, so we'll see what happens with this. Can't tell if this is the game or the anime. One thing I gotta say about the anime, though, Production IG is doing the animation.
Should be nice.
And considering they just finished off with Guilty Crown, love that series. Love the series, love the music, love the action.
Love the fan service.
Love the fan service, yes. Love the fan service. All right, well, let's see if this will actually play.
Try to play with Rusty Hearts, a.k.a. Busty Hearts.
No, it's not going to play, so, oh well.
It's not going to play?
Well, I have it set. Let me give a second.
Well,
Here, entertain the crowd for a second.
Oh, gee, thanks. Put me on the spot, why don't you?
That's what I do.
Hey, you know what? You're good at it. Let's see here. I got nothing to say, dude. I'm boring, remember? I can bring up my other Japanese. Hey, that reminds me. Isn't there a thing that will let me use my, put my whatever's on my iPhone on screen?
There's a couple apps that you can actually do. It's hack. You have to jailbreak your device first, so.
Oh, frack.
So
okay, so it's obviously the game.
Yeah, the game is handled by animation.
Break into an anime. So okay, now, as much as I hate to admit it, I still haven't finished Steins Gate yet.
You know, I was gonna start talking about what you've been watching lately, and I guess that's still nothing.
No, it's not nothing.
Oh, okay.
I've been catching up on Stephen Colbert actually, and Fringe.
I didn't know Stephen Colbert was an anime. No.
No, he's not, and it's not just anime. We talk about all sorts of things. I actually caught up on Fringe finally. That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
But no, I need to finish. Steins Gate. The reason I haven't is my legal source on it has vaporized. So unless I want to partake of it in such a manner that goes against the ethics that we espouse, I'm not going to be finishing it right away. I think I still have it somewhere. I'll have to look. But I do want to finish it. Unfortunately, as I know I left off at like the 2/3 mark. It's right after, oh God, what is the girl that works in Akiba, whose father started Akiba?
The start of the Maid Cafe?
Yeah, the pink-haired girl.
I'm drawing a blank. I can't. I know who you're talking about, though.
Who's the pink-haired girl in Steins Gate? Come on, chat room.
I can't remember what it is. Well, besides that, we were talking about,
the last time I saw it, the last episode I saw was when she sent the D-mail, and all of a sudden Akiba wasn't Akiba.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's where I'm at in that series.
Okay. You should finish the series.
Yeah.
Because the movie's coming out, so...
Mayuri
Shina? I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Colbert Kawaii desu ne. Ferris, thank you, Ferris.
All right.
It was Ferris.
Okay. Well, so from besides, Steins Gate, let's go back to our box notes real quick. So the game looks pretty cool. Production IG is doing the animated version. It's going to start in October. No word yet who's picking it up, stateside. It could be out of the big three of what?
It's going to be one of two.
Who do you think?
It's either going to be Sentai or Funimation, and I'm leaning towards Funimation.
Well, who had Steins Gate? I forget who had that. I think that was Funimation. Yeah, that's right. It's Funimation. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they get that. The only other people that I would see that would grab it beforehand would be Crunchyroll.
Yeah, but Crunchyroll doesn't do US distro. Crunchyroll does online only.
Right, but the thing is, there's several times where in a contract the online distro goes to Crunchyroll, where the physical distro goes to Funimation or Sentai or Viz or someone else.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that. But aside from Robotics Notes and Steins Gate,
what is the story on Robotics Notes? I mean, is it a continuation?
Well, what this is saying is that it's a scientific adventure series set in the future world with realistic augmented reality technology. It follows a robotics club in danger of being disbanded. So it sounds like they probably build a mech and just destroy things.
Yeah, okay. That sounds a little... Okay.
Well, maybe. I saw a mech in the trailer, so I'm guessing they built a mech.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is the anime version of Megas XLR. Okay, gotcha.
Only without a Prius for a head. Hey, there's your Toyota sponsorship. Yeah.
I don't think that'll do that well.
We want you to drive a car that's smarter than you. Let's see. U.S. distribution. I'm still looking up Steins Gate.
Oh, okay. Isaac59 says nothing can be as cool as Megas. Yeah, they were. What was it? A few months ago, Michael and I were sitting there just talking about random stuff, and he asked, "So, what mech out of all the mechs out there would you own?" And they're expecting just like one answer and whatnot. I first start off with, well, my weekend mech would be, from Megas XLR. And now they thought, oh wait, we could do multiple mechs, can't we?
Yeah, mine was a mix between, if I remember correctly, it was part Ava.
Didn't you want the
Gundam.
Bonta?
Oh no, it was part Ava, part Gundam, and a whole lot of BattleTech.
Ah, BattleTech, yes.
I want a Marauder 2C.
All right.
That's my mech of choice.
Okay, well, let's see. Aside you've been catching up with Stephen Colbert and Colbert. Yeah,
I was joking when I mentioned Colbert, by the way. Oh, but he did a thing. Is Carl in the chat room? Because I want to watch him squirm.
No.
They did he had a guest this week about a woman who wrote a book about Anonymous.
And she's still fine.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. She researched Anonymous. She talks about the Anonymous attack when Anonymous went after Scientologists because they're normal.
Yes, very normal, yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Colbert. It was Stewart. Jon Stewart had it.
Okay.
And the book is called, hang on, Anonymous something else. But it goes on to talk about LulzSec and how LulzSec, God, your camera just skewed. There we go. How LulzSec basically shattered when the FBI got a hold of the one guy. It's looks like a really good book, and I intend on ordering it because I'm curious as to see, because she doesn't approach it. You know how the news likes to go, Anonymous, they're this big terrorist organization, and there are a bunch of kids in the background going, yeah, fuck you.
Because they're not always known as Fox News or, yeah.
Well, Fox News, no, all the major news stations did it.
All right.
Did it. MSN, I mean, everybody in the media at first made it look like Anonymous was this big organized group, which they never really were.
Right. Every
Every time somebody tried to organize them, they all said F you and went and did their own thing.
Right.
Because it wasn't fun. This seems to be the first serious look into it where they don't come at it from that angle. They actually look at it for what it originally was, where it originally started, talking about the 4chan stuff, building up into how some groups polarized into the thing, and they end up splitting up, becoming LulzSec. And it looks, from what I've seen and what I've read about it, the book I actually want to read. It looks like it could be pretty cool.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Wow, we have about 5 minutes left. And I want to talk about one thing that I didn't talk about last week.
Plain text and static images, it will never catch on. Yes, I fully agree with Isaac. Anon, you said Anonymous is what the Laughing Man should have been.
No, I agree with that. That's a really good way to look at it. Now, I know I'm jumping completely to a different rail here on this, but I wanted to talk about this last week, and I completely spaced on it. There's an awesome book out by Ernest Cline. It's called Ready Player One.
Oh, yes.
So...
Are you going to play the video?
Huh? No.
Oh, good.
I'm not going to play the video. Really cool book. It takes place in 2044, dystopian world and whatnot. People escape through kind of like a WoW type game. The main protagonist is this guy who has an obscene amount of 80s pop music references.
Sounds like Ernie Klein.
Yeah. And it kind of goes through like the Matrix thing where, he found this problem with the system and must rally other people to, defeat the evil overlord. It's really good. Ernie Cline is actually the same person who wrote the screenplay for the good film Fanboys, that Star Wars one.
Wait a minute, Fanboys was Ernie Cline?
Ernie Cline wrote Fanboys. And after writing
I'm
Fanboys
and going shenanigans on that.
Nah.
I'm sorry, I'm going to verify that.
Ernest Cline did Fanboys.
Because I know him from his spoken word comedy work. Where everything is
Ernest Cline did Fanboys. He did this movie screenplay for that. After doing so, he went and created Ready Player One. He wanted to create a book that was so awesome and so intricate that it could never be turned into a movie. Before the book was even published, it was already bought for the movie rights. And he's actually doing the screenplay for it.
Wow.
So it's an awesome book. You guys need to check it out. But the cool thing about well, there's two cool things about this. One, if you're more of like an audiobook kind of person, Will Wheaton's the one that actually recorded the audiobook.
Okay.
Wesley Crusher himself is awesome.
That could be cool.
The other thing is he decided to create a little contest.
Ah, yes.
Yes. So when he was going around his book tour for initially, he actually bought a DeLorean and kind of decked it out with not just Back to the Future references, but Knight Rider and Ghostbusters and a bunch of other stuff on it. So it's, a nerd's mobile. Yeah, we'll call it a nerdmobile.
Okay, you're right. I'm wrong.
Yes, one for Jason. All right. Now, for the release of the upcoming paperback, which I think is out now, he decided to go on a second run, and he was trying to find a contest that he can give away for people to get interested in. He decided to put in a URL in the book somewhere. It's really hard because apparently until he started this thing about 3 weeks ago, the book was initially out for about 10 months. And no one's even looked it up. In hardcover. And no one really looked this up. In softcover, he actually talked about this. So there's a URL in the book. You have to find it, you go to it, and it's the start of 3 major challenges. Most likely they're based on 80s video games. And they're increasingly hard. If you find these and beat all 3, and the first one to beat all 3, you will win the second DeLorean that he bought, where it's all
modded.
Yeah, and modded the same way as his first one. So it has,
elements
stuff
of Knight Rider, elements of Back to the Future, elements of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. I kind of want to do this.
I saw the car. It's like I was like, damn, I want to buy a DeLorean now.
He must be doing decent enough for the fact that it's like, yeah, I don't want to sell my DeLorean. I put so much work into it. So I bought another one. Those things aren't really what we call common.
No, they weren't. They aren't. Well, especially not now since Back to the Future, because everybody buys them and turns them into the Back to the Future.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I just discovered... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so if you haven't heard about this book yet, go to a local bookstore. I think you can find an ebook, but the contest doesn't have the ebook thing, or the ebook doesn't have the contest thing. I can't speak today.
So it's not going to be in the Kindle version?
No, I believe it's just in the print version, either the paperback or the hardcover. Go check it out. It's an amazing read. I've read the first 3 chapters in an excerpt, and it's unbelievable awesome. Cool. So go check it out. Go find these games. Go, win this, and then when you're done and you win the car, you win the DeLorean, I want you to inscribe OtakuLife.net on the hood. Okay, you can do that for me. Just help us out here. No. Damn.
Don't take your breath. Remember, those are brushed aluminum, dude.
You can etch it. Have a screwdriver. I don't know.
In the scary, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing it department, first trailer's out for Dread.
I saw that. What the hell? No. Bad movie.
It won't be the same without Sly Stallone. I am the law.
I actually watched Demolition Man the other day.
Isn't that great?
It is a great cheesy movie.
It is an awesome movie. I love that movie. Wesley Snipes was... Oh, God. The whole movie was great. Sandra Bullock before she became awesome.
All right. Well, before we wrap this up, do we want to do anything like, are you going to watch anything for the next week and talk about it in 2 weeks? Or because
and that's something we do need to bring up.
Yes.
Because of Expo next week, and because Jason refuses to drive back down to his apartment Thursday night.
It's a long way.
I am putting it on your shoulders, dude.
Okay. It is. Okay, I'll take it. It is my fault.
It is all your fault.
It is all my fault.
We will not be doing a show next week because of Anime Expo. Jason will be there attending. I will be off, maybe getting married, maybe not.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm not going to say. No, I'm going to be off on vacation. And then the following week, we will be back with another show.
Unless I go to Japan Expo, then,
If you go to Japan Expo, I will hurt you.
Like I have the money for a flight to France.
I'm just going to say, if you go, I'm going to hurt you. So seriously though, what do we want to talk about? And that's something that you guys, the audience, can help out with too. Tweet on Jason's Twitter. Tweet on my Twitter, because I think he actually made a lower third that has my Twitter on it. Oh my god. And give us an idea. If you guys come across stuff, holy crap, there it is. if you guys come across stuff that you think is awesome that you'd like to hear us talk about, or that you'd like to give input on, please shoot it on over. We'd love to hear from you guys. Give us something. Give us fodder to discuss.
Yes. Because, I mean, Michael and I have a lot of stuff we can talk about and whatnot, but we want to have it something that you guys, the viewers, enjoy as well. You guys get more involved anyways. And I find it funny that because our good friend Carl is actually not in the chat, he's not trolling us the entire time.
I was kind of hoping he would be when I mentioned that anonymous book, because that's the type of thing that'll make him apoplectic.
They're going to a wedding tomorrow, so they're all having fun tonight. So
is the wedding this week? I thought it was last week.
The wedding is this weekend.
Okay.
So, all right. Before we wrap this up, Michael, you have anything else you want to say or add?
No, I'm good for the moment.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We will, like Michael said, we will not be here next week, but the following week we will be back with a lot of cool stuff to talk about.
Indeed.
All right. For Firm My Brothers Basement, I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Night, everybody.
Bye.